Hello everybody and welcome to my home. Now as you can see, it's a little bit different from the last video I did. We're in my living room, we're sitting down, I've got a cup of tea and we're going to have a chat. If you didn't know, tomorrow we're going into lockdown 2.0 and I just thought I'd sit down and have a bit of a chat about my thoughts and my feelings about going into another lockdown and just generally having a little bit of a chit chat. So if I was you, I'd settle down, grab a Kit Kat, grab a cup of tea and let's have a little chat. Just a disclaimer, I'm not here to be political, whether to say I think it's right or if it's wrong, I'm not bothered about that. And I also want to say I know full well how lucky I am. I've got my family, my friends, I've still got my job, which I know some people don't have. I've got my house, I've got my boyfriend, so I know how lucky I am, but just how I'm feeling. So first lockdown, at the beginning, I actually didn't find it too difficult to begin with, to be honest with you. It was lovely weather. We just sat out in the garden all day, every day. It was actually not too bad. It was terrifying at the same time though. I was still working all the way through it and turning up to work with a completely different atmosphere, and one day being able to stand close to your work colleagues and the next day you had to stand 2 meters apart and you were terrified to be near each other. It was crazy, like the whole atmosphere, even going shopping for the first time at Tesco and having to queue and people wearing masks, and it was crazy. You know, it's the first thing in my lifetime, and I hope the only time in my lifetime that I experience something like this. It's a terrifying idea and a horrible situation for everyone to be in at this time. And over time, as I was missing my family more, so I moved from London up to Nottinghamshire 4 years ago, and I usually see them every few months or so, birthdays, and whenever I could get any time off work I'd always go see them, and I ended up not seeing them for 6 months, and that was really difficult. You worry about your family when you don't see them. You know, my mum is an NHS worker and my dad was considered a vulnerable person who shouldn't really be going outside, and it's horrible when all you've got is a family WhatsApp to kind of keep up to date with people and stuff, and that was hard. That hit me the hardest, I think. I've got now an 8-year-old niece and a little baby nephew. I last saw my nephew in February and I still haven't got to see him yet. And babies grow up so quick, so I'm missing quite a lot of his life, and that is really difficult. I think, like, is he going to forget me? Is he going to know who I am when I finally get to see him? So yeah, that sucks quite a bit. Apart from that, everyone on Facebook and Instagram are like, I'm learning a new language. I can now speak fluent German, French and Italian. I've built a sculpture from nothing but leaves in the garden. And I was like, oh damn, maybe I need to better myself. I need to change. Everyone else is using this time productively, and all I want to do is sit down and eat arrows. So maybe I need to get better at life. Maybe I need to pick up something new. So I did. I wanted to fill my time with anything and everything, to try and make things easier, to make the time go quicker, because at the beginning this was a 2-week lockdown, remember, and I thought, oh, 2 weeks, what can I get stuck into for 2 weeks? And then it got longer and longer and longer, and I picked up courses. I wanted to pick up dancing again. I was looking at audition pieces, monologues. I wanted to do everything, and I think that actually made things 100% worse. I don't know about you, but when I start a project, that's it. I start a project, I don't finish it, I don't complete it, but I have that looming worry over me, like, remember, you've got this to do, that to do, this to do, you haven't finished this, that and the other. And it made things 1,000 times worse, actually, having all these projects that I haven't finished. When lockdown started to ease up, that was actually the time that I actually struggled with the most. I thought it'd be like, right, I've been locked up for how long, I'm going to do this, I'm going to see that person, I'm going to do that, it's going to be great, it's going to be back to normal. And no, it's far from normal. I found getting back into normal life really difficult. It was hard to leave the house. Now they're like, okay, go outside more. I didn't want to. I was terrified. I think I did develop a phobia of going outside. And it's crazy how how good old Boris Johnson can tell you to stay inside, and then once he says to go out, it's your mind that traps you inside. And also in this time, I kind of realised how lonely I'd become. But I saw everyone on Instagram and on Facebook like, oh, I've just reunited with this one, just going out with the girls. And I realised that actually nobody wanted to see me. That's sad, isn't it? I realised that I was lonely. And when I left London 4 years ago, I realised that I actually did lose some friends moving up here, just because, you know, life goes on, and if someone's not in your life all the time now, you know, they get pushed out, which is normal. You know, I guess I haven't been the best person to keep up with people I used to hang out with in London. My bad. I'm sorry, everyone. But then when I moved up here, I realised that I haven't made friends up here either. I realised that I don't have any friends, and that was really difficult to realise. That during this 6-month lockdown, or however long, again, I don't know time in now, 9-10 months, nobody missed me, and yeah, that's pretty sucky actually, and that made me really depressed, and it made me think, well, what's the point in life? You know, maybe question, like, deep dive in philosophical questions. Why am I here? What is the point of me? What is my purpose here? You know, because it got to the stage where I was getting up out of bed, sitting, thinking about all the projects that I haven't finished, getting even more down, sat watching telly, and then before I know it, it's bedtime and I was going to bed, and then I was just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Yeah, and I think the first lockdown made me quite depressed, and I didn't really realise it at the time. But I did find some things that did help with lockdown. Hang on. Once everything started easing up and gyms opened again, I started doing CrossFit, which I absolutely love. I adore it. It's so hard. It's so difficult, and you push yourself so hard. I think especially when you're in this like depressive state, you want to feel something again when you haven't felt anything for a long time. And so doing that it hurts, it burns, but at the end of it you feel amazing. And then a few weeks go by and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh wow, like you get your little yeah about you again. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. But then maybe 6 weeks ago I hurt my back, not at CrossFit. I think I did it at work, but yeah, and I haven't been able to go for 6 weeks, and that's been horrible. when you find something you enjoy and then you don't go, not because you don't want to, but because your body won't physically let you. That is so difficult. It's the one project I started that I actually want to continue, and yeah, that kind of dragged me back down a bit. And I guess that brings us back round to where we are today, where tomorrow we're starting it all over again, a 4-week lockdown. It's good. I have to keep telling myself it's good because I want to see my family at Christmas. It's my dad's 50th on the 1st of January. I want to go down to London and spend his birthday with him. So I've just got to tell myself this is what the 4 weeks are for. So everybody can see their families at Christmas. But I know this one is going to be hard. I've got these new thoughts in my head from the easing of the lockdown about realising that I'm lonelier than I thought, and maybe I'm not in people's minds anymore from my old friends in London, and that I haven't really grown attached to anybody up here. I have one good friend up here that I miss a lot. But anyway, my tea will help. This time I know what I'm doing. I've decided my goals for this time. I'm not setting any goals. I'm not getting any new projects going. I'm not trying to be productive. Do you know what? I'm a lazy person. You know, I want to sit down. When Jeremy Kyle was on, I wanted to sit down and watch Jeremy Kyle. Now that's gone. I guess Judge Rinder will do. Why am I trying to push something that I'm not? And I think that's something we can all agree on, is that we don't need to be productive. We don't. We can use this time to reset and charge, sit down, call your loved ones, catch up on that Netflix thing you wanted to watch, you know. Let's stop putting so much pressure on ourselves, because I feel like a lot of us did the first time, and I think a lot of us suffered for it. I saw this quote, I think it was actually on Facebook. It said, "We're not all in the same boat, but we are in the same storm." Everyone has got their own situation, their own losses, their own gains, things they've achieved and things they wish they had achieved. But at the end of the day, this is a global pandemic, and not only are we going through it, the whole world is going through it. And I think we can kind of take some comfort that, yeah, this is rubbish for everybody. I still haven't finished my tea. I kind of wanted to make this video not only to kind of get some things off my chest, to kind of mentally prepare for the next phase that is to come, that maybe people watch this and they think, oh, you know, this is rubbish and she's feeling rubbish too, so that you know, I feel better. And I really hope that it does make you feel better, that maybe you're feeling the same way. You've had your down moments, you thought you were dealing with it but you weren't. The situation's hard enough as it is without you being hard on yourself. And I hope at least maybe this gave people some comfort. And I guess let's just strap in for the next 4 weeks. Let's all do our bit and be nice to each other. A cleansing breath for the next 4 weeks. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of sit down chat, and maybe I'll check in the next 4 weeks and we'll see how we're getting on. We'll check on each other. Me and you. We'll check on each other. Let me know what you think. If you fancy liking, subscribing, whatever the big YouTubers say, then please do. It means a lot. And I will see you next time. Stay safe, be sensible, and be kind.